Ever notice how we've collectively started diagnosing people with personality disorders the way we used to recommend new sitcoms? Oh, you don't hold eye contact for 10 seconds straight? Yeah, you might be a sociopath. It's wild, but hey, that's just the price of living in the age of armchair psychology and Reddit theories, right? Now let's lean into some of these signs of a sociopath. Here's a good one. Sociopaths lack empathy. Okay, but show me someone who doesn't pretend they don't see the person crying in the next cubicle, and I'll show you a saint. It's called survival. We're all just a little numb, powering through the day without having an existential breakdown every time we see someone else suffering. Maybe we're not sociopaths, we're just efficient. But society, oh no, society says that makes us cold. Sure, because feeling guilty every time we prioritize ourselves sounds so healthy. Look, I don't want to come off as ignorant. I realize that there are some real psychos out there who deserve to die. Nor am I advocating sociopath. But some people just feel qualified to diagnose other people just because they saw a YouTube video. Then there's the classic they manipulate others to get what they want, as if we don't all manipulate our way through half our social interactions. When you compliment your friend's cooking saying this is amazing even though it tastes like soggy cardboard, that's manipulation right there. Or when you laugh a little too hard at your boss's jokes, not because they're funny, but because you want next Friday off. We all do it, it's not malicious, survival, a little social grease to keep things running smoothly, but call it what it is, manipulation, and yet somehow only sociopaths get blamed for it. Oh, and how could we forget the ever-popular sociopaths don't feel fear or shame? Funny how that sounds just like the ideal we're all sold. Be confident, be fearless, take no crap. Our whole culture glamorizes fearlessness, as long as you keep it polished. Because let's face it, the only thing scarier than being alone with our anxieties is the idea that they might be actually visible to others. We'll do almost anything to mask our vulnerabilities, to make it look like we've got it all together, even if internally we're running on fumes and caffeine. Here's the ironic part: in labeling these behaviors as sociopathic, we're just feeding our own insecurities. We want to know that we're the sane ones, that we belong to the right crowd. When we point fingers diagnosing everyone else, it's less about understanding others and more about hiding from our own reflection. Because who wants to look in the mirror and feel a little detached, a little manipulative, a little selfish? What else could reveal the hidden delight of a spirit that has weathered the burden of vigilance and restraint, hardened and ever unyielding, only to find itself in the grip of self-revelation? What spectacle could be more surreal than this? A soul hardened through battles of silence and guarded glances, now roused by the feverish allure of shedding its armor, of daring to see itself clearly in the eyes of others. Thus does the spirit awaken, exhilarated by a strange newfound freedom, yet tethered still to its shackles, casting affectionate glances even at its own shadows. For this discourse, too, is but a revelry after long confinement, a paradoxical celebration of the chains we've woven ourselves. It is the stirring of inward resolve, a return to the curious thrill of uncertainty, to that provocative art of wielding masks upon masks, a cycle of disguises made not in shame but in self-preservation. How natural it is then that from beneath our veiled ambitions and tender deceits, from the dim theater of polite laughter and hidden vulnerabilities, we emerge to confront our own reflection, both unnerving and strangely beautiful. And so this ritual repeats, a dance of endurance and pretense, of meaning carved out of illusion, each iteration a strange and distant kin to the one before. Dr. Aidan Roth, a clinical psychologist specializing in interpersonal dynamics, warns of the dangers of snapshot diagnosis. He encourages people to approach others with curiosity instead of assumptions. In reality, character isn't a checklist, he explains. When we label others too quickly, we risk misunderstanding their genuine complexities and reducing their humanity to a set of traits. Instead, adopt a mindset of openness, engage with people, listen to their experiences, and resist the urge to make conclusions based on limited interactions. Dr. Roth underscores that this praxis fosters deeper connections and a more empathetic understanding of those around us. The real sociopath trait is this obsession with categorizing every tiny flaw as a red flag. So the next time you feel a little too self-focused, a little too unaffected, maybe don't jump straight to pathology. Perhaps it's okay to just be human in all our slightly off-kilter, socially awkward, sometimes insensitive glory. Because if we start calling every quirk a warning sign, we'll all be sociopaths by lunchtime.